I love how you guys didn't want me to make fun of you, and the first thing you bring up is your own stupidity.
I like how you're the first guest on the first episode. You're just going to sing the jingle with us.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Right in the mix.
I'm actually gunning for Paul's spot.
Wow. Okay, well.
Coming, guns blazing.
You went for the top. Paul's the hardest one to replace.
I know. Well,
Wow, okay.
Hey,
goals.
welcome to the BeatiDudes, everybody. Our guest we'll get to in a few minutes, who's silently waiting to participate in the show.
Yeah, just diving right in.
This is awesome. So this is our first podcast for the BeatiDudes, a show that is religiously funny, a place for authentic fraternity where men come together with their faith at the forefront of everything they do and remember that we're putting God at the center, but that doesn't mean we can't rib each other from time to time, as our friend Kevin has already proven to us today in the pre-show warm-up. Kevin has been a delight.
I'm sorry.
Right out of the gate. This is fantastic.
Kevin, what do you think about this show? You're a minute in. What's your expectations?
I don't know how to say this, but as a podcaster who has minimal equipment, I'm very impressed by the setup. You got all the microphones, the cables. I don't know what that thing's called.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nobody does.
It's impressive.
What we lack
do
in
you-
experience, we make up for with nice equipment.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like we're wearing like the cool kid jeans. Like, he must be cool.
How do you do, fellow kids?
And I just noticed we have different headphones than you guys.
Well,
Oh, yeah. We've got the nice Shure headphones.
It's because you're the only people whose legs are touching on the show.
Which, by the way, you've been doing leg day. That's great.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. I got
Well.
a barbell for my birthday. So
Just
one?
Just a single?
just one. That's it.
Not a set.
No.
Kettlebell
Yeah.
stands
Just-
alone.
That works.
But he said barbell.
He did.
It's a 5-pounder.
There-
Ooh. Yeah, going,
Not all at once.
Congratulations.
Not all at once.
going for tone, not strength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Pilates look.
That's
So quick introductions for you. My name is Jeff Scheffelbein. I am joined by my hosts, Paul Kolker
Howdy.
and Nick Besner, the original BeatiDudes. But everybody who comes on the show and everybody who joins in is actually a BeatiDude as well. So, Kevin, how does it feel to be a BeatiDude?
Remarkable.
Remarkable.
Yeah, it really is incredible. All joking aside, I'll stop making fun of you guys and say some nice things.
Let's do that. Now that we're recording, let's do that.
yeah. Yeah, give up sarcasm for Lent.
So that's a good idea.
Now.
That would help
Now.
all of us a lot. But I do seriously look forward to this because Paul and I are still getting to know each other, but the two of you guys I've known for 5+ years, and some of my favorite people I've encountered back when I was raising money. And I just think it's incredible what you guys are doing, going from working in the corporate world, I guess, to taking a lot of lessons about culture and just what it means to be a man, a husband, a father who's committed to their Catholic faith, living in the world. So I think this is going to be epic, and I'm excited.
Kevin, one thing that Nick and I think have in common is the way that you first met both of us was we both accidentally clicked recurring gift
Yes.
on a time when you were raising money. I think it's your trick. There's some trickery
You see,
Now you have to go talk to Kevin.
because you're panicking. I did not press recurring.
I can't pay that much
Kevin-
every month.
Kevin,
I meant to
you
do
know
that
what he
once
does?
a year.
He gets like the donation roster and he's like, thanks for making that recurring gift. And he's like, this dude's going to call me back. I got him.
See, I love how you guys didn't want me to make fun of you, and the first thing you bring up is your own stupidity.
Man, he doesn't miss a beat. I like this guy.
Lent, Kevin. Okay. Well, it is Lent, and we've been enjoying Lent. Paul, what's Lent looked like for you so far?
So, I'm a big fan of the snooze button, and so I've been fasting from the snooze
Hi, snooze.
button.
It's Paul.
Yes. You can't talk to me for 40 days. Yeah, no, so...
That's 5 minutes. I mean,
Well, no, but I'm not using this.
oh,
Yeah,
got it.
I'm-
Okay,
I'm
keep going.
fasting from the snooze button so that I'm trying to get up earlier and start the day with some prayer. So using the Nick Besner challenge approach, where get up a little earlier, say some prayer, kind of get my mind wrapped around, the higher things, right? St. Paul says, if you've been raised with Christ, seek what is above. So I'm trying to get my day anchored there, and so then the rest of the day kind of takes on a different shape, a different color, all of that.
Well, Nick, share the Lent reflection, a little piece of that we did for the Redeemer Radio folks.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, the challenge is, I call it the challenge of 3, based in the Trinity, right? Rooted in all of that. And each day during Lent, just challenge yourself with a small sacrifice. You might be giving up chocolate or sweets or whatever it might be, but look for that kind of additional little thing 3 times in order to grow closer in holiness and grow closer to God.
I love it. And I think I shared this with you the other day, but I found myself getting ready for the day, and I was cooking up this big hash, and I was cracking my eggs, and I was like, oh, I'm going to have 4 eggs today. And I was like, nope, if I hold off and I don't take one of those eggs, I can go ahead and check off one of my challenge of 3 moments. So I'm like gunning for I'm not trying to get there as fast as I can, but I'm looking for my 3 every day.
It's a good challenge.
It's awesome.
And it's fun, and it brings it brings you closer.
But then I want to call you and
point.
brag, which is like the opposite of why you should be.
but hey, you haven't. So
I'm fasting.
maybe that's another fast, another checkbox for yourself.
In fairness, the Lord said not to trumpet it from a corner. He didn't say anything about texting.
Yeah, or on top of your kitchen island. Look at me, I haven't eaten all Friday. Kevin, what about Lent for you? What's happening?
Lent for me, sticking on the eggs theme and food.
Sorry.
Is no. we can finish that joke another time.
No, I think that you got some eggs going here.
There's
Sorry, what?
He's referring to the twins that will be born any day now.
Oh, congratulations.
His wife is pregnant with twins.
She's at home right now.
Speaking of eggs, my goodness.
Speaking of eggs.
What a
Your
segue.
daddy came on air and he was talking about you eggs.
They're not eggs anymore.
I know, that's what I'm getting at.
But anyway, yeah, so
When are they're due like,
March 19th.
but twins come early and you
usually
don't know what
come
day we
early.
recorded this. So it's like, you told me over text message, congratulations, I can come to your show today. The babies didn't come. That's how close we are to baby time.
I did not think I would be here because I thought they would be born, but soon.
It might
It's
explain a little bit
impending.
of your like angstiness. You're kind of like
I know, I'm taking it out on you guys. There's no one else in my house I can make fun of, so
yeah, do not say any of this to your wife. Like, I went and gave those guys, I ribbed them all day long, and now I'm back here to love you and care for you.
exactly.
So I read all your LinkedIn posts. I love it. If anybody follows Kevin Fitzpatrick on LinkedIn and the One Visit Away work you do and your podcast, and even your class,
Major Gift Millions.
Major Gift Millions. I just was going to say millions of
MGM.
gifts. Yeah, Major Gift Millions.
Recurring.
Recurring. Oh, thank you for your recurring millions. Recurring millions gifts. Like what? I don't know any of those words.
Recurrings on repeat. Bam, 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 bam.
You wrote a post one day, and I remember reading the very first line and just being struck because the next line just, I felt like I was there with you while you were reading it. It said, I'm 30 and I have 5 daughters. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so it's really interesting whenever I share things like that with people, the reaction is more, it's different than I would expect it to be because I share how we lost our first daughter in a miscarriage. And to me, that has always been, I mean, from the moment we lost our daughter, it was like, we'd already told several people that my wife was pregnant, immediately. And we knew like we could lose this baby, but our approach was always just like, yeah, like we want people to know.
Yeah, it's a baby.
Yeah.
It's your baby.
And so, I mean, when the miscarriage happened, it was like immediately reaching out to, just a handful of, close friends and family members we told and let him know that we lost the baby. And so when I share things like that on LinkedIn, so many people message me and they're like, thank you so much for sharing that. Like one ever, I've experienced that multiple times and like I've never seen somebody talk about it. And to me, it's always just so, and I understand why people don't, but to me, it's just always been like, if you can't share things like this, no one is given the opportunity to like be there for you. And
We talk about that a lot from the women's side. You hear people say that, but I'm going to say something right now. I mean, if you think about this show is geared towards men, and for years to come, hopefully men are clicking on this episode. Like, how many times do we think that manhood means you just push it down and you completely ignore it? You don't even talk about your child that you believe is your baby as a baby because you don't want to be in that weird situation, that friction situation.
Weird.
Oh yeah, which is not weird at all. You know, I think
air quotes for people who are listening.
This beautiful situation. You know, I always told people, like, we don't know the gender of our baby, and they'd be like, "Are you hoping for a boy or girl?" And I'd say, "Whatever God has in store." And they'd say, "As long as they're healthy." And I'd say, "Even if they're not." Right. And that catches people off guard because they're just saying words sometimes. But when I say even if they're not, I watch most people go through a transformation.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're right. You know, I'll pray for your baby. I'll pray for health. Great. I would love that. And if we end up in a situation, then still my baby.
Yep.
See, that was baby number 1.
Yeah.
And then in what time period do we end up multiplying this much?
Well, let me put it this way. If they all do the typical, American plans of education, for at least 1 year, we'll have 4 in college at the same time.
Okay.
Wow. Oh. Wait. Any Irish twins in the mix there?
Well, not exactly.
Just real twins, Paul.
Yeah, just real ones.
American twins?
They're American
Americans?
twins.
I am a Fitzpatrick, so they are Irish, I guess. But
how do we answer
Fitzpatrick.
this?
yeah, so we've got
Sorry.
It's Irish American?
yeah, so they're
Dubliner.
our oldest is 3.5, and we've got a 17-month-old and twins any day now. So
Wow.
That's awesome.
Just because
I just want to jump in.
Yeah.
My dad's dad, my grandfather, I grew up across the street from him, or across the fence. He was on a farm, and he lived to be 91. And I just remember, this is the last conversation I remember having with him. He was 90. It was his 90th birthday party. And I just wanted some wisdom. It was obviously he's 90. I don't know how much time we have left here. Excuse me. And I was just having this conversation with him, and he said, when it comes to having kids, back in my day, we just took them as they came.
Huh.
I was like, that's awesome.
There you go.
yeah,
Just take them as they come.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's wonderful.
Because we have all these ideas about what's perfect for me, or how can I afford this, or what's my life situation? Am I ready?
Yeah.
Right? That's what, are you ready?
no.
It's like, you're never ready. It
your
doesn't
house,
matter.
your finances.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And so then if you take that mindset, it forces that faith and dependence and reliance on the Lord, which is what it's all about.
That's where you're going to be formed anyways.
Exactly.
Even if you're ready or not ready, you're going to be formed by going into it together, whatever it is, like marriage at whatever age, kids. I always like this. Let's wait till we make it to have kids. What does make it mean? You're going to make what?
Yeah.
And even that, it's not guaranteed. Like, even if you
you're
quote
gonna
unquote,
wait.
like if you made it, you could lose it all, the next year or whatever. I mean, it's just, there's no guarantees.
In any of it, absolutely. Well, we're excited for you. I hope your phone doesn't go off during the show.
Yeah, we'll see. And if I can go with one quick more story here, I love the what you said about your grandfather. I think there's so much wisdom in people who have made it to 90 and beyond. And I lost both of my grandmothers this past year, 6 weeks apart, both of them. So one of them 90, one of them 99, the other 92 or so. Nice. And Grandma Fitz, she had 8 kids, and her husband died when my dad was 8 years old. Oh. So my dad was 8, and I think his youngest sibling was 2. So she was, a widow at 50 with 8 kids, or maybe she was a little younger actually, and she just lived an incredible life. I have never heard the woman complain once about anything, and I think that's it. It's just we took them as they come. We take all things as God's will, and I think that's the way to live life.
That's beautiful. Want to play a game?
Let's do it.
We're going to work on the segues over time. This is just episode 1.
Quick non sequitur here. Bam.
And now for a hard left turn. Here we go.
I wanted to do
No
a smile.
blinker. No blinker.
We're going to come back and talk about miracles in a minute.
Yeah.
You're a
All
big
right.
e-brake guy, Jeff? You
Yeah. All right, so we have a game. It's the no-name improv game that hopefully will have another name before too long because it's a shame to have such a weird name. But if you come up with a name,
Eminem over here.
Kevin, I would love if anybody has some sort of a good pun, and we've come up with some terrible ones.
We're workshopping it. We're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whiteboard that keeps stretching on.
Yes.
But Paul, if you pull out the cards and explain the game to us, we are going to have a competition here, Kevin. You are the judge. And we'll have you back on a bonus show where you are one of the participants. But for now, I want you to put on your judgy hat. I mean, that shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, sounds like you already had it on.
Yeah. I'm prepared. Fear not.
So as an example, Paul will pull out a character card and a question card. And I'm just going to put him on the spot here where he has to answer. As the character, he has to answer this question. So your character is...
As a vindictive ex.
Wow.
Wow, this is intense. Tell us about your best or worst night on the town. We're going to get canceled so fast.
Hang in there.
Well, I went out with your ex, and it was fantastic.
Punchy. I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So you get the idea. Now without looking, he's going to pull a character card and then pull out 2 question cards and just pick, I don't know. I guess you have to kind of look at the character card. And then we'll have a little 10-second interlude to think about this.
We're going with a different
Thank
character.
you. I trust you.
Okay. As a fanatical animal rights activist, trust me, this is better than what we had. What is the biggest mistake you ever made?
I showed up to my animal rights rally and I got on the mic and I told them to forget about it.
My first fundraiser was a barbecue for animal rights.
Lamb, anyone?
I lost my headphone over here. There we go. That totally threw me off. Give me one more second.
BeatiDudes! There it is.
I loved visiting the farm where my dog went. Turns out there was no farm. There was no dog.
Wow. I think we just ventured down like the path of a Christopher Nolan film.
I was going to say, this is very being Nick Besner. Like, I feel like I just went inside the head of Nick Besner there. All right, Kevin.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, he's just telling us a true story. Yeah.
Man, now I can't remember. I remember yours was the fur.
Yeah.
Oh, yours was the barbecue.
Yeah, what is it, bud?
Man, y'all might need to go again because there were no clear winners.
That's ridiculous. You're going to make us go again on a game this hard?
Well,
no, we can go again.
All right, fine.
Here we go.
Let's get a clear winner here.
All right. As a $30,000 a year wannabe millionaire.
Which is just everybody in Dallas mostly.
Basically, yeah. What event do you want to attend the most?
Guys, I've really been watching this F1 series on Netflix. I cannot wait when they go to Vegas next year. We're going to get a suite. It's going to be awesome, and my dad's going to pay for it.
That's awesome, bro. Check this out. Last night, I stood in line behind a velvet rope to get in line for velvet rope line waiting. It was awesome.
Bro, I went to the shop where they keep the sleeves from all the vests that we wear, and I bought some sleeves that we're going to reattach. I'm going to call it a sweater vest.
Please don't make us do this again.
No, those were all good. I gotta go. All right, winner.
You have to choose.
You do.
And we'll take it personally no matter what.
Please go.
I'm going Paul on this one.
Oh!
We're already doing sound effects. You have to do your own sound effects? Wow. Congratulations to Paul.
Nick and Jeff were great, but Jeff, you threw me off with the Australian accent or whatever that was.
That's his only accent, I think.
And then I blame myself. Yours was so long, I forgot about the ending line of my dad's going to pay for it.
I blame myself.
Which probably would have given you the win, but
It's good feedback.
Good, yeah.
So
I'll remember that for next time.
Tighten it up.
Tighten it up.
Hey y'all, this is Jeff Scheffelbein. When Nick and I set out to start our new company, Undivided Life, we were really concerned about how would we cover the healthcare needs of our growing families, and we were so excited to find a company that fit both our medical needs and our faith beliefs perfectly. It's called Solidarity HealthShare. It is an ethical alternative to traditional health insurance. We're never part of sharing in the medical costs of anything that goes against the teachings of the Catholic Church, making it a great alternative for Catholics and Christians alike. Solidarity is very affordable, which is perfect for a large family or for a new and growing business like the one we've started. So visit joinsolidarity.com today so that you can get started with us.
Hey, this is Nick from the BeatiDudes. Check this out. If you're a business owner or marketer targeting Christians in your community, Decided Excellence magazine can help you reach that goal. Decided Excellence publishes monthly magazines to thousands of homeowners in your area. So whether you're a home services business owner, a Catholic school trying to grow your enrollment, whatever it might be, Decided Excellence can help you find your next customer. Visit decidedexcellence.com today and start growing together. Welcome back, everybody. Just before break there, Jeff, you were talking about a miracle.
So I've seen Kevin tell this story once on stage, I believe, at a huge fundraiser and also on the radio. But he has a phenomenal story that just always pulls it all together. And I believe this ties back to when you were a little kid, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You mind sharing it since you prepared nothing for this show?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Well, you could prepare for everything or nothing. Those are basically the two options.
Wow, hold on. I got to think about that one.
I do think there's a middle ground there.
I was given no direction. So anyway, I'll jump right in. So yeah, I was growing up in New Orleans, and I was like 7 or 8 years old at the time, and my dad had just gotten a cell phone. This is important.
Big moment
to the story. Yeah. It was one of those, I don't remember what the brand was, but like the bottom part flipped open and it had
not the whole
removable battery on the back.
This is a Motorola
This
probably.
is early.
Most likely,
This is early.
Yeah.
Early models.
Yes, very early.
Way before Snake.
Yeah. This was like late 1990s, maybe 2000. And so anyway, my dad just got this cell phone, and it was a Saturday morning. He'd gone to Lowe's to get some stuff for around the house. And my brother and I were watching cartoons like gentlemen in the living room. And all of a sudden we, probably some SpongeBob or who knows what. And all of a sudden we hear my mom like calling out from her room in the back. And so we like head over there. We're like, this is weird. And mom's sitting on the ground. She was trying to put her shoes on and like she couldn't tie them.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what was happening, so she was just like, get the phone, call my dad. Thankfully he had the phone, comes home. By this point, when my dad gets home, my mom is like becoming more and more paralyzed.
Oh, geez.
And we get in my dad's truck, start heading to the emergency room, and, we get to the hospital. I don't remember a ton at that point. Like my brother and I were just kind of left in a waiting room, and then my dad I think went with my mom, and so I couldn't see any of this obviously, but she was in there. They got her in an MRI machine, and while she was in there getting the scan, she started having seizures. Wow. And at this point she's completely paralyzed on the right side of her body, can't talk, and she'd suffered a massive stroke, and she was like mid-30s at the time.
Wow.
And she's completely paralyzed on the right side of her body, can't talk. The doctors told her, like, if she lived, she would be paralyzed for the rest of her life. Yeah. And she'd received anointing of the sick. And I remember like one of my most profound memories was my dad or my aunt and my uncle taking care of my brother and I, because my mom was in the hospital for weeks and we were living with them. And that kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier with the miscarriage. Like when people don't know you're suffering or struggling with something, no one can help. And so obviously this was an extreme circumstance, but they took us in. And I remember the day I went to go see my mom for the first time. I don't remember how soon it was after she had the stroke, but I just remember my dad saying, it's okay if you want to cry. like that. I just remember that's what he had said to like prepare us for this. Cause we go in and, my mom's just laying there. I remember she was crying cause she can't talk. And she's just laying there just helpless. And one day she had gone to physical therapy. They'd like taken her to another room, and her only goal was to wiggle they wanted her to wiggle like the very tip of her finger on her right hand and just, put all of her concentration there, and she just couldn't do it. And so she like bursts into tears, heads back up to her, they wheel her back up to her room. Now, meanwhile, our pastor, Father Stahl at Immaculate Conception Jesuit Church in New Orleans, he was new because the previous pastor had passed away, and he heard one of his parishioners was in the hospital. So he goes to visit her and brings with him a first-class relic of Blessed Francis Xavier Sealos, who was a Redemptorist priest in the 1800s in New Orleans. And so he brings this relic, leaves it with my mom, and this is like immediately after the physical therapy instance.
Yeah.
And my dad ties the relic around my mom's neck, and then he has to leave to go do something. So Mima, one of my grandmothers that just passed away, she was there with my mom, in the room. My mom was watching the Mass on TV, and she'd done a spiritual communion. And then at the end of Mass, when the priest goes to dismiss everybody with the sign of the cross, he does the final blessing, and then out of instinct, my mom goes to make the sign of the cross, and she could, and she was instantly healed.
Chills.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
So
The
that is
chills
the end
are
of the show.
coming in waves.
Yeah.
I don't know if is that just me? Like,
No, I'm feeling it too. It's just washing over you. Yeah,
It's cool too because I've heard this a couple times, and still, it's not like a story. It's the journey of somebody's miraculous healing. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel like a story. It feels like an experience every time you share it.
Yeah, for sure. And every time I think about it, I have the same reaction.
You got a very, I don't know. I feel like you've shown up to life in a way that you are impacting so many people because you're not afraid to share. You're not afraid to give in your sharing, to prioritize the right things. So it's pretty beautiful the way that you're having this witness. And you've done it on the stage in front of thousands of people. You've done it in one-on-one lunches, and now you're going to do it for all the world's BeatiDudes.
Yes.
yes.
I love it.
Speaking of BeatiDudes, something I wanted to give you earlier, because you are about to be you are the father to 5. You're about to be holding twins and getting no sleep. So at the very least, you could wear some sacrilegious socks that have St. Joseph on them.
Magnificent. And, this is even more fitting because the due date is the Feast of St. Joseph.
Oh,
Wow.
What?
Yet another miracle.
Didn't you say March 19th?
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Well, sacrilegious socks for you, Kevin. I know all of us wear sacrilegious on the regular. Anybody who's listening to any of the BeatiDudes, you can jump on sacrilegious.com and get a 10% discount on your order. There's a cool splash page. It's it's sacrilegious.com/BeatiDudes. And let's just find out which ones are you wearing today?
Today I've got the keys to the kingdom.
Keys to the kingdom.
And flexibility.
And, I work out.
Okay, good for you.
Does that improve flexibility?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save my socks for the next guest. But you tell us what you got on.
I've got Our Lady of Guadalupe.
This is a yoga move. Wow. Oh my goodness. Is this going to be like a regular thing? We do this on the show?
I don't know. I hope not.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think y'all need a sock camera as the next investment.
Oh, just put it underneath there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cut to the sock camera.
You could watch the whole show from sock cam.
Just to see Paul and Kevin's knee bumping up against each other.
So we put GoPros on our legs? Is that how we're going to...
Hey, Kevin, if people are listening and they want to follow you, get engaged with you, tell them, how can they do that?
The best way is probably, where I'm most active is on LinkedIn. So just Kevin Fitzpatrick, or my website, onevisitaway.com. Or
you got a
my
podcast too.
By the same name, One Visit Away.
Nice.
One of the things, while we're going on how we razz each other, one thing that's I always remember is when I was on your radio show and you were like, where can people go to? It was a heroic media thing. And I was like, www.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Kevin, it's 2020.
Yeah. We're good.
For those of you who have never interacted with the World Wide Web,
I don't know how you found this podcast, but you're pretty advanced.
I'll give you my email address. You can send it to AOL.
Yeah. You've
Aim
got mail.
me.
Yes.
Amy, just
Oh, man.
if you want to find Kevin, ask Jeeves. He can help you figure that out. Y'all even know what that is?
Yes.
All right, good.
It's
Good.
the precursor to Google.
Precursor. All right, hey, there's one last thing we got to do, and it's this is kind of strange because the rest of the show's been pretty normal. This is called Reverse Simpsons. So the Simpsons starts every episode differently. We end every episode differently. And I can promise this one's unique. We've never done this before. So what's about to happen is on our sweet, remarkable tablets that all of us have, we are going to be having a blindfolded drawing competition using our marker feature.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to be the judge of this, but we're going to be drawing something from your life, something from the stories that you've shared here today. Kevin, I'm happy to pick something, but is there anything about what we've talked about today that you would like to see the BeatiDudes draw? We'll have 30 seconds of drawing time to come up with the best drawing. You got to vote for more points because we already know Paul got the points earlier, but anything come to mind?
Wow, y'all are going with actual blindfolds. Okay, let's see.
It's hard with this headphones on.
Okay,
just
so we
slipped mine
talked
off.
about the twins. All right, here we go.
Kevin, it's
I
going to
want
be
you-
Kevin in the delivery room.
No, not that complex. I know you guys don't have that ability. Maybe Paul.
Wow. I don't understand what happened.
I really like this guy.
Paul would. I would think Paul could do some elaborate things.
I think Paul can do anything.
But here's your
But
challenge.
Nick and Jeff can't even watch a YouTube video.
Wow, you guys bought something on Amazon? Wow.
Amazing.
Good job.
Your challenge is what you ate for breakfast this morning.
This has nothing to do with you.
But you were talking. We're talking
Okay,
about the
that's
eggs.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right.
Tie it back to
Oh, wait, I have to press the button. So I'm going to press the button and then it gets going, okay?
Okay.
Ready? And
Yep.
Kevin, you got to do your own, I don't know. You can do the play-by-play. Here we
Yeah.
go,
How
guys.
long do we have?
30 seconds.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Paul and Nick are drawing oddly similar things. Jeff has like a thought cloud with words in it. I don't
Wait, you can't. That's not drawing.
No, I think he just. All right, Nick. This is impressive. This podcast, by the way, is sponsored by Remarkable. You can find out.
I think I'm done. Oh, wait.
I'm running out of room.
This is, man.
The BeatiDudes! All right, blindfolds
I'm
off.
feeling pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Okay,
I
Nick-
think I won.
All right, no.
Hold on.
I haven't even looked at it, but
You
I
see?
think I won. Can I take
Okay.
my blindfold off?
Yeah,
Okay, yes,
Nick-
absolutely.
Okay, so Nick is definitely contending. Jeff, Jeff has like a child's twirly straw going to a cup, and is that a stingray? If you had a
So
stingray for
delicious.
breakfast,
Well, I'm
you
sorry, I
win.
didn't.
Does
Yeah.
that say veggies? Did you?
I did write the word
All right,
veggies.
so Nick clearly has a cup of coffee. He's got a fork. He's got a knife. He's got some. Is that toast, bacon, and sausage?
Bam!
Oh, my goodness.
And then
Wow.
Paul's got some coffee with a spoon.
Yes.
And over on the right.
It's a French press, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Hey, stop giving him.
Okay,
what
so
are you doing?
He just had
If
coffee.
you have to explain it, that means it's not a good drawing.
All right,
That's
Nick,
harsh but fair.
Nick wins by far.
Nicholas.
Do you want to give me bonus points?
No.
You can do that.
You can also retroactively give me bonus points from earlier. Just saying.
Congratulations, Nick. No bonus points. It's 100 to 100 to 0.
Is that a fried egg? What is that?
It was delicious.
Is it broccoli?
But what I just drew for you is that I don't know. It was like whatever was in the fridge, I put it in a skillet.
Oh, that's a skillet.
The skillet. Okay.
Oh.
I wrote yummy here.
Just like, I know I can't
And
draw
eggs.
things. I'll just
Yummy.
write words of what I.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
That
my
is
goodness.
beautiful.
All right, brother. Well, listen, it's been awesome having you here on the BeatiDudes. We're going to have you back on the bonus show, but thank you for this. Thank you for really pouring your heart out. I think one of the biggest takeaways I've got from you is that you never know when somebody needs to hear a specific message, and if the Holy Spirit is guiding you to share, is guiding you to prayer, then you should say yes and step into that. So thank you for everything that you've done and who you are. Any last words for the BeatiDudes?
This has been an honor. I look forward to seeing what happens with the rest of these shows. And I really do think just the opportunity for dudes to come together and talk is a skill that's lacking. Not even a skill, a good thing for humans that rarely exists.
Amen. Well, on behalf of Nick, Paul, and myself, between now and the next time we see you, we'll see you in the Eucharist.